Welcome back, DC Universe Classics fans. This is Scott Toy Guru Neitlich, and we're on to video 2, which means we're here to talk about Wave 2 of the DCU Classics. This was really kind of a definitive 6-inch line for DC, especially now that the current line for collectors is 7 inches. That's a video for another time. But this wave was really going to immerse ourselves in the DC world with characters like Aquaman, kind of our A-list hero, a villain for Aquaman to fend off in the form of Black Manta. Then our Superman figure of the month was going to be Red and Blue Superman from the 90s. Yay, 90s. Harley Quinn, who is even more popular now. Firestorm, who I was really excited to get as a toy, and that was going to finish off with Gorilla Grodd as the Build-A-Figure. So let's jump in. I mentioned last time about how Warner really wanted Batman or Superman in every wave. And this was a big part of relationship building. Honestly, Warner Brothers Consumer Products was one of the best partners I've ever gotten to work with. They were really, they were kind, they were amazing, they were supportive, but we had to build that relationship. And in time, they were really going to let us kind of go wild with the character selection and do some real dream figures. But for the moment, for the first year, which I think was the first 5 waves, they kind of spelled out who was going to be in each wave down to the character and the version, and that meant Superman or Batman in each wave. And the Superman or Batman that was chosen for this wave was the Red and Blue Superman, not the Golden Age one, which the 90s was paying homage to, but the electric version, which the only thing that drove me crazy about this was that those electrical pieces tended to fall off. I guess they could have been a little tighter. We did this figure at a 50-50 ratio. It was not a chase variant because we knew kind of half the people were going to want both, and we wanted to make sure they were out there. Next up came Harley Quinn, the quintessential female Batman villain, who is now even more popular than she was. In fact, here's kind of the thing about Harley Quinn. I once had a Warner Brothers consumer product rep tell me that essentially they could put Harley Quinn on anything and sell it. And I mean anything. She was just that darn popular. In fact, Harley Quinn over the years, and I don't know if this was the time we were making the DCU Classics line, but especially now, she outsells Batman. She is the best-selling DC merchandisable character. I don't know if her comics sell better, but her merchandise is the best-selling. So this was the first figure we did of her in DCU Classics. I definitely had a pet peeve with the blue face wash she got. That was a last-minute change that was requested, and honestly, I kind of wish I fought back on this one. It drives me crazy to this day. And it was a big reason that when we had the chance to reissue Harley in the Mad Love 2-pack with Joker, I was like, okay, no blue wash. No blue wash. We have to do a version with Harley where she actually has a white face. So this was kind of, I wouldn't call it an apology figure, but at least correcting a figure that drove me crazy when we first put her out. All right, so next up we had our Chase figure. This was the first time we got a Chase figure into the line because in Wave 1, as I mentioned in the last video, it didn't quite work out. Now, Chase figures were really popular at this time, especially because of Marvel Legends. It's actually kind of something that's gone down now, but at the time when DCU Classics was launching, Chase figures were all the rave, and having 2 versions of a character, one that was hard to find, was really cool. So we did that with Aquaman. We had kind of a modern and a classic version. And DC also really wanted to pair all of their characters together in logical ways, which actually kept going even once they allowed us to do character selection in year 2. So the pairing for Aquaman was going to be this guy, Black Manta, who is one of Aquaman's quintessential villains, and obviously showed up in the movie. We did another version years later, also paired with Aquaman. I really wanted to do Ocean Master, personally. To me, Ocean Master was the quintessential Aquaman villain. But as I said, we were building that great relationship with Warner, and they made the call for year one. But we did get to Ocean Master eventually in the Signature series, which I was really glad about because he had to be done. Last up was Firestorm. Now, visually, I think Firestorm is one of the coolest characters to make as a toy. I mean, come on, the guy's got flaming hair. But the question is, which version of Firestorm do you do? There's been quite a lot over the years. Well, DC also, again, they're doing the first year's worth of character selection, and we wound up doing both Ronnie in his classic look, and we did a variant of Jason, which also, if memory serves, this was meant to be a 50-50 figure that was going to put both Jason and Ronnie out there. We didn't quite get to Professor Stein as a floating head, but at least you could get both. Now, the interesting thing is they actually went through a head change. It was one of the only characters that happened at the sculpting stage. When the original head was shown at Toy Fair, which was kind of like an angry, screaming head, the fans did not like that. And this was really one of the only times in the entire line where the Horsemen, on their own, at their own cost, re-sculpted the head. Because honestly, they took a lot of pride in the work, and they wanted to please the fans. And normally, we wouldn't have been able to do that. Gorilla Grodd, our Build-A-Figure, so our first big figure, since Metamorpho, the Element Man, was just kind of snap-on parts. This was the first time that we did an extra-large character, and all the parts were broken up and packed with each character. Harley got the torso, the biggest part of him. Now, a lot of people thought we were going to use Grodd for Gygor in the Masters of the Universe Classics line, but we didn't. We sculpted another gorilla, actually an even bigger gorilla. So Grodd could stand on his own and Gygor could. And that was it. That was Wave 2. We were on our way to having an even more complete DC Universe. We had Aquaman, we had Harley Quinn, we had a giant gorilla, we had an electric Superman. It was really cool. And if you like this video, my biggest ask is to share it. I'm not doing a Patreon thing or anything like that, but if you could share it on your social media and with your friends so everyone can know this is happening, appreciate it.